Welcome back, everybody. Today, you are in for a treat. We are going to share dating nightmare stories.
Mm. Ah, gosh, we got plenty of those, don't we?
Yes, yes. So, Demetra,
Mm-hmm.
I think one topic we need to discuss is whether it's better to meet someone that you're going to date organically, like out and about or through friends, versus through the dating apps.
I'm gonna definitely say organically or through somebody.
Okay.
That's just my opinion on that.
So, I have two stories. One is going to go along with your opinion, and the other is not. So, when I was in my early 20s, I was living in downtown Chicago and working at the Board of Trade. This was right before I went into hair school. And I would take the same bus to go to work every day and see the same people, like the buses would run like every 10 minutes or so. So it was likely to run into the same people over and over. And someone asked me out on a date. I was pretty excited. He was like sort of beautiful and
Sort of beautiful.
sort of beautiful. And we went out on a date and went to one of these, like an outdoor seating of a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like summertime in the city. It was hot. It was like so nice out. And I was wearing, I want to clarify, not flip flops, but you know those like rocket dog things, like the
Mm-hmm.
real big heel.
Oh, I love those. I have a pair right now.
I
Oh,
love them.
they're the best.
I love them
So
until
good.
they break while you're
Well,
walking.
yes. Yeah,
That
that's
happened to me
happened.
once.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. But they're
Oh
so good.
gosh.
Oh,
I
they're
know.
the
I
best.
know. So I was wearing my rocket dogs and we go and sit outside at this restaurant and at like one of those high top tables.
Mm-hmm.
And this person, like I'm just so everybody knows here, I'm pretty short. I'm like 5'2". And this guy was very, very tall. Anyway, I'm like sitting on a high stool and like, my legs are like dangling. And he's like just kind of sitting normally. And so we're ordering and I'm like kind of nervous and he's kind of beautiful. And he says, "Oh, you have really nice toenail polish on." And he says, I'd really like to give you a foot massage." And I was like,
On the first
"Okay,
date. He said this on
yes,
the first date.
yes." We
Okay.
we said hi. We sat down. He's saying that. So we're ordering food, and he is, um, picture it, massaging my foot. Like he took off my shoe and was massaging my foot.
I am Barbara.
Yes.
I am just learning another side of you. I like it. Living on the edge. A little PDA. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
With the little piggies, one,
Right.
two, three. So then he's like really, really giving me a foot massage. And I'm thinking, like, oh, I wonder if he's like kind of weird or if he's like super into feet or if he's just very kind. I don't know. So then our food comes and I'm like, oh, hold on. And I'm like looking around, like, oh, where's the washroom? He picks up a burger with his bare hands that were just all over my feet. And these are like walking in the city feet. This is not like I got out of my car. This is like I
Right.
walked
Exposed.
on the
Exposed
street.
feet, wearing, like in between the toe rocket dogs. Like, yeah, your feet are,
Dirty
well,
ass feet.
yeah.
He picks up his burger with his bare hands and starts eating it and grabbing french fries, going in up to
Mm,
the eyebrows in the food. And I'm like, this guy didn't wash his hands. That is so nasty.
it's
That is so
disgusting.
nasty.
That's disgusting. I mean, that's really gross. But maybe he just wanted a piece of you.
Girl, I don't know.
It sounds a little
So
freaky to me, but okay.
I was not interested in him after that. And now that I'm older, I think to myself, well, that's kind of mean. Why wouldn't you just say, like, hey, buddy, you want to wash your hands?
Right.
Very
Hmm.
judgmental.
So how did you like let him down? Like, were you just like, I don't want to see you again, or just kind of like, what'd you
Um,
do?
we just like finished dinner, and he walked me home and he tried to like kiss me and I was like, "Oh," but his like feet touched his hands that touched or no, I'm sorry, his lips touched his hands that touched my feet. So I was kind of like, "Mm."
Yeah, even
And
though it was like your feet, you're almost like, I don't want that back on my mouth, right? I mean,
girl, that's
okay,
nasty.
it is a little nasty. Okay.
Anyhow, That was
Yeah.
that was the
So that
first one.
was the organic meat.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Tell me one of your bad first dates.
So this is pretty good. I was 26. So I met my ex-husband, how old were we? 24, 25. We got engaged within like 11 months, really quick. And then for like a year and a half. So maybe, what was I? Maybe I was 27 because we broke up for like 5 months before we got married. And during that 5 months, someone set me up with their husband's cousin. And basically, I was told, hey, this guy is a really good looking guy. He's tall, super successful, just no kids and whatever. Should go out with him. So, yeah, like I said, I was probably like 27 then at the time. And she was saying, I think she said 10 to 12 years older than me, right? Again, I'm 27. So this guy, anyways, doesn't even matter. Long story short, sets it up. The guy picks me up. First off, red flag. He picks me up in a red Corvette. Okay.
And you married this man?
No. This was someone that I went on a date. This is in between, like before I got married, but I had already met my ex-husband, but we had a short little breakup. So this was this is what made me probably marry my ex-husband because I realized there was like nothing out there. So first red flag, the guy comes in a red Corvette. He's tall, all right, and he's bald. Nothing wrong with bald-headed men, but it was like he was like bald and there was a lot of hair on the sides.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't even like tapered down. And then I come to find out he was 27 years older than me.
Oh.
Which, yeah, because he was like 52 or 54 if I was 26 or 27. Yeah, he was like a lot older than me. She was like, oh, 10 or 12 years older. That was a lie. So now I'm kind of stuck on this blind date, right? So I'm like, I have to go. We go to a really nice like sushi restaurant in the city. We get there and we sit down and I go to grab the menu and the waiter comes up and right away he's like, she's going to have, whatever I was going to have to drink, like ordering from me. And this guy doesn't even know me. And I look at the waiter and said, no, I'm not having that. This is what I'm having. And right away he says, well, I just ordered the most expensive wine in the house. I said, okay, well, go ahead and drink it. I'm thinking this fucking guy, right? And then all of a sudden he's talking and he's spitting when he's talking. He's so really excited. I'm literally sitting there with like my napkin on I'm going like this, like wiping my face.
Oh.
Like how does he not know that there's like spit flying at me, right? So I'm just kind of like trying to tone it down a little. I'm like, okay, this guy's trying to order for me. Then he's like already making a big deal, like I'm ordering the most expensive thing in the house, and he's so excited, and then he's spitting on me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a friggin' nightmare. So he gets up to go to the bathroom. And there was a couple right next to me, and immediately they knew. They were like, first date. I'm like, yeah. So like, do you want us to like save you? Should we say something? You want us to call your phone, like an emergency, so you can leave? I mean, that's how bad it was that the people right next to me, pure strangers that I didn't know, were like, you need to get out of this, like ASAP. So I had my dinner. I wanted to be polite because someone did set me up with this person. And then I went home and literally probably the next week got back together with my ex-husband, and then we got married. And yeah, but it's we called him the spitter. That was the spitter because when he spoke, when I mean literally, I was wiping my face, Barbara, like wiping my face when this guy was speaking.
Oh my gosh, that is horrible.
It's gross, isn't it? I mean, it was gross. I mean, regardless of his overexcitement, but just like, yeah, I know. I mean, nothing wrong with Corvettes. Like, they're nice, but this one was not nice. It was not nice. And he was middle age, and it was a red Corvette. And I just thought it was like cheesy.
Midlife crisis?
Yeah, kind of. Like I said, I think he was like, and not that that's old, but I mean, back then I was 27 years old. This guy's in his 50s. I mean, I was just so like, what the hell? Does she not know how to count? How does 10, 12 years turn into 27 years age difference? Like, what was she thinking? You know,
Yeah.
I hate when people set you up and they're just like, well, you're single and that person's single. No, man. Like, if you're going to set me up because you're like, okay, you like to travel. So does this person. You both are animal lovers or you love dogs. You
Yeah.
know, like, at least give me something, you know? But
Rude.
yeah, yeah, craziness. So I want to hear what your other story. Fill us in.
So I dated people from dating apps for a good
Mm-hmm.
decade. You would think that I would, give up, but I didn't. I was like, I'm going to work. Okay. This guy didn't live in Chicago.
Hmm.
I want to say it was like Milwaukee or something. And
They have like the hottest guys, by the way. Like Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Like anytime I
oh,
was on a dating app, for some reason, the guys that would show up from Wisconsin were like so freaking hot. But I'm like, why do you have to live an hour away? I don't know about you, an hour is too far for me, but
yeah, that's too far.
I mean, it is, but they have the hottest guys. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, this one wasn't.
Mm.
Also, so everything that he told me about himself was like exaggerated by at least one step, sometimes two. And at the time, I was still living in Chicago and I didn't have a car. Didn't want a
Mhm.
car. A car's pain. Anyway, so I had explained that to him and he's like, "Okay, well, I'll drive in there and we can like I'll just park my car. We can take the train or whatever." Like however I was used to getting around. So he drives and then I'm feeling like kind of badly that he like is driving so long to get there and I thought, well, we sort of just want to have like coffee, because we were like chit-chatting, but it's like you don't even know that person and what they look like and all that. Anyway, so he shows up and I didn't want him to know like where I live, so I said let's meet at this Einstein Bagels place. It was on like Clark and Fullerton. So I go in there, I order myself a coffee, and I'm waiting for Mr. Fabulous to show up. And um, he shows up and um, looks quite different than his photo. And also, he's having like a really hard time walking. Like something's not working well there. And I was like at the end of this, like the table that's like against the windows, and I'm at the end of it, and he walks in, and he's like struggling to walk. And he was late, and he was saying, "Well, I had a really hard time finding a place to park around here, this and that." And then he had to park farther away than he wanted to, and it was hard for him to like walk that way. And so he's walking towards me, and there's like one of those like menu signs or advertising signs, or not a sign, I'm sorry. Those little like freestanding things where they would hang mugs or whatever that you can
Hmm.
buy.
Yeah.
And so it has like two legs on each side that like stick out, and then it's like
Yeah.
one. He tripped
Did he
and he
trip?
fell all the way. He went down.
Oh no.
And I did
So why
not
is
know.
it okay? Wait, why is it when someone fall? Why is this so funny? But it's
I
not funny. I guess if
know.
they're not hurt, then it's okay to laugh. But why is it so funny when someone falls?
It
Did you
really,
laugh?
really is.
Okay, did you
No,
laugh?
no.
Oh, oh,
Girl,
you're
I was
good.
like,
Okay.
well, first I was like, is there any blood? Because usually if there's no blood, then you can laugh. But this guy, he was
Oh,
so embarrassed. And
mm,
I was dying for him. I was like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "Can I help you up?" But he was like uh he got up, like pulled himself up by a chair. It was
mm.
so awkward. And like
I guess
anything
he was
that I
already
had,
kind of like struggling when he walked in. I mean,
yeah.
right? So, hmm.
And so basically the point of the story is it was like a whole like drawn out couple of hours because he had driven there.
Oof.
But anything I had planned that we could do wasn't going to work because there was a lot of walking involved because he didn't tell me. And at that time, I walked everywhere all the time.
So
I
what
was like
actually was wrong with, was there something wrong prior to him falling? Like what was his deal?
yes, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm, okay.
But I think he had like braces on his legs, maybe.
Mm.
Anyway, and it became clear that he didn't want to go anywhere without his car. He just wanted to drive everywhere.
Mm.
But I just didn't know that because he wasn't upfront about it.
First sign of laziness. Or
Girl.
like a guy that wants to walk. Like I park far away. You know what I mean? Like I rather like park really far and walk. To me, that's a few extra steps I'm getting in. That's a form of exercise. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
for
know
sure.
if people are like that, but that's what I do to get like, walking up and down, doing my laundry at home. A few extra steps.
All good.
Yeah.
Anyway, very awkward situation. Also,
Okay.
something I want to bring up
Yes.
is that I have been on so many first dates. Let me tell you. What does that say about me? Uh,
I love it. No, that's good because they say you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. My problem is I haven't been on enough dates. Like
oh,
I haven't. I'm not a huge dater actually, believe it or not. I'm not very good at it. Clearly, why?
I don't believe that. Come on.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
We can get you a little
Uh,
ear thing and I can like talk to you and tell you what to say
okay.
because
I
I'm
get.
so good at it.
Yeah. I need some dates. I guess I don't know. Just to go out there and shoot the shit. But I've stayed off the dating app now for like about a year and a half. I had no desire. You know what I think? They're different like 15, 20 years ago when they first came on. Like
Yeah.
my girlfriend met her husband. And I really think people were really interested. If you really got on a dating site, you were looking for somebody. And it had like a 5-year really good run. And then it fell off to where it was all hookups. I felt like people were just using dating apps as just a hookup. And then now I think it's kind of like, I don't know what it is now because I don't use them, but
But
anymore.
I
But
met my husband on a dating site.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. I want to hear that story. So tell me, how did that, you want to share that with us or a little too personal?
No, that's all good.
Okay,
Um,
well,
well,
listen,
there's
tell
not
us.
too much to say. It wasn't that funny because it was just like good,
Oh,
We met at
okay.
a restaurant
Hmm.
and just like totally hit it off.
But I
Felt
want to
like
know, like, how long did you guys talk, like, through the app or anything? How long before you guys decided you wanted to meet?
2 weeks.
Oh, see, I think that's really good. I also think too, like sometimes if you continue to talk a lot, you become pen pals. So you have to make a
Yeah.
point to at least like say, hey, we're gonna meet, or else it just. I think that was my biggest thing. It was just a lot of talking, and nobody really ever following through. I would also get a lot of people asking for extra photos and saying that they thought I wasn't real. A lot of times, so they were being
You're
catfish.
you're too damn cute. That's why.
I wish that was it. I don't know, but yeah. But
Oh,
wait, one more thing, ladies. If you're on a dating app, if you see a guy that has like a hat on in every photo, it's because he's bald. Going back to the whole hair thing. Yeah, I
oh
didn't
yeah.
figure that out till like meeting them in person a couple times. Like, and
Yes.
most of the time they look 20 times cuter with a hat on. Just FYI. So
Well, also,
yeah.
also, let's be real. I think it's a red flag when they're just trying to like hide it. Like it's just you.
Well,
Like why is that such a bad thing?
it's not. That's my point. That's why it gets like annoying. Like,
I
why
know.
have a hat on every photo? And to me, that just screams insecurity. It's like fucking own that shit. Own it.
Yeah.
Like I love gray hair in men. I think it's
Mhm.
so like it's distinguished, and I don't know why is it like if a man colors his hair, it's kind of weird, but women know. And why do men look better when they start going gray and women we look old? Such bullshit,
It's not fair.
right? It's not
Not fair.
fair. It's not fair. Just goes back to the whole men and they could still shoot out their seed until they're 60 and 70 and produce babies, and it's like Mother Nature wants us to like look old, and it's bullshit, man.
So
Oh, whole
I
other
heard
topic.
I heard about this thing now that's happening with the young people, which
Hmm.
are not me, that when they're online dating,
Mm-hmm.
that people will send them dick pics.
Ooh. Okay.
And sometimes they're sending a picture that is not theirs. And the result is that young ladies are being, hold it, dickfished instead of catfish. Or is it cockfish? I can't remember.
Cockfish, dickfish. I don't know. Either way.
It's
I
like
mean,
you're dicked around.
so what happens? Like, oh, okay, like you're gonna send me this beautiful picture of this nice endowed and perfectly circumcised, uncircumcised, whatever your preference is, penis. And then we get to doing the deed and it's like only 2.5 inches. And what, you think I'm going to still let you proceed? I don't know about you guys, but I'd be like, it doesn't match. Now,
Again, why are you lying? No
well,
need to lie.
I know. Why do they lie? Well, clearly he's going to try to win you over. And then you're going to, in your head, I think they do a lot of, and obviously they call this manipulation, right? It's a part of manipulating. And I think what they do, and I think some men don't even know that they're doing it, but they put this like fake facade where it's like, I think that's part of the fake picture. Let me show her a nice penis, right? Whether, I don't know if it's supposed to be big or whatever dick fish pic they're sending you, right? For whatever reason they're sending it. They're putting it in your head like, ooh, his penis is so scrumptious, right? Or a guy that sit here and says, I can't wait to take you to Paris. Like when you first meet, I love to travel. And they say all this shit. And then you have it in your head and you start falling in love with like who you think this person kind of is and what they're about. And then you start going out with them. And it's like, wait, they never take you on your vacation, or you guys never go on vacation together. This person doesn't like going on walks. They don't anything, but you still start hanging out with them because you have it in your head and you've already been manipulated and you're still kind of waiting for all that to come through. I think that's really what happens a lot of times. What do you think about that?
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just get an idea about somebody in your head, and you don't look at the facts against it. Confirmation bias.
Right. That's why I think like the whole everyone talks about, is red flags, and I guess there's a reason for it because we really do ignore it, or just like that whole thing where love is blind. I never really knew what that meant, and it is love is blind. It literally is. Once you love someone, it's like they could almost do no wrong in your eyes. It's crazy.
Also, it's helpful when your man starts getting older and his eyesight starts to go. Then you still look like amazing to them when your makeup's gone.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, okay. Barbara's got tricks for us. Let's hope your man goes blind early. All right. Starts losing his eyesight. There you go. All right. Okay, Barbara, I want to know any more. Oh, you know what? I got to tell you guys about my situationship. Could we talk about that real quick? Could we talk about that? Okay. So this is actually the last time I was on a dating site. Oh my God, it's going to be 2 years in November. So I actually haven't been on a dating site since then. I met this guy on this dating site, and we hit it off, whatever. He was like super cute, close in age, whatever. We met at a Starbucks for coffee. It was great. We decided to go out, whatever. Long story short, you read people's bio like, hey, you're looking for long-term relationship, this, that. It's a long-term relationship, right? In the thing. Me too. I'm not trying to waste any more time at my age. Long story short, you guys, I'm going to fast forward this. 5 months in, right? Met all his friends, went on vacation twice, always had a great time. Never had an argument, but there was something off. I couldn't really figure it out. Like I liked the guy, but I didn't fall for him at all. I enjoyed spending time with him, but something always felt off. And I really couldn't figure it out. I mean, like this guy loved to cuddle and hold my hands. I mean, we're talking, right? Like felt like we're evolving. It was a relationship. We would see each other 2 times a week, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, and whatever. 5 months in, one time we go out to dinner. We end up at a bar. There's a couple next to us, and they're hot and heavy, man. They're just like going out. They're all over each other. And this guy that I was with, he was very social, right? So he starts talking to him, buys them a shot, and asks him, hey, how long have you guys been together? And the girl's like, oh, this is our second date, And she's like, how about you guys? He's like, oh, about 5 months now. And she's like, oh, so you guys are getting like pretty serious. And in front of me, you ready for this? In front of me and 2 fucking strangers. He says, "Oh no, we're just friends with an arrangement."
Really?
Yeah, literally. My mom, I was just like, that's what I look like. Like, and the girl just looked at me, literally, and in front of him. She was like, "I am so sorry." I was like, "Pull it together, Demetra, pull it together." I go to the bathroom and I am like, I'm upset, but not so much because I was so into him. First of all, I thought that was so ignorant and rude, first of all, for him to say that to like a stranger. And secondly, he told me like when we had first started dating, it was probably like maybe 6 weeks in. And I remember one time he tried like sexting me, right? And I didn't feel comfortable yet. I was just like still getting to know him. I know 6 weeks could seem like a lot, but not really. At that time, I had maybe only hung out with him like a handful of times. And I had called. I said, "Hey, I'm not a prude or anything. I love sexing or whatever, but I don't feel comfortable. Like if that's what you're looking for, I'm I'm not into that. I'm actually looking for like a relationship right now, and if and when I'm in a relationship, that's okay. But if that's what you're looking for, I don't want that." And he made it very clear. He's like, "No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you." So I was like, "Okay, this is cool." So it's just kind of shitty that at like, 5, 6 weeks, you're saying, no, you're looking for something. You introduced me to your friends, your family. We're going on vacation. But I should have known. Again, this is a lack of me having dating experience. I really truly believe that awkward feeling that I was feeling that whole time where I wasn't sure. I'm like, what's up with this guy? Like he was always very lovey-dovey and then kind of like just off at sometimes too. And it was weird. So basically, then I didn't realize till after that I was in a situationship.
Mhm.
And I never knew what that was. And my friend actually sent it to me. It's in like Wikipedia. It's a
Really?
Yes, it's in Wikipedia. If you Google it right now, like on your phone or your iPad, look up situationship and what it says. Can you read that to us, Barbara? What it says? Situationship. So that was my first situationship I had ever been in. I just wish people were more clear and upfront before
Okay.
yeah.
Situationship, a romantic or sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established.
That's all I was telling you.
Oh, well, that's like the dictionary.
Oh, okay. Usually, there's another one where it also has like two other, like A, B, C, and then it'll say like where you have everything is just like a relationship, but it's just undefined. So you go on
Ah,
vacations, you meet family members, you spend holidays together, but it's just undefined. It's not really labeled.
ah.
Weird, right?
I think that's weird.
It's very weird. So just
It's like a way to formally uh, not commit.
Yes, exactly. Oh, and then the guy knew I was totally upset. So when I get out of the bathroom, I'm like, "Hey, I'm kind of ready to go. Like, let's leave." I pulled it together. He's like, "Oh, come on, Demetra. I'm a non-committal guy." And I'm like, "How the would I know that? I
Yeah.
know it now. Thank you very much." But so that was the end of that.
Hmm.
That was cool. Whatever.
Hmm.
But that's my situationship. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, last thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I have been on so many dates and I have always asked people, like one of the
Love
first
you.
things I would ask is, what do you do for work?
Hmm.
And the reason I would do that is because I spend, as you do, I'm sure, so much time working that it's just like it's a big part of my life, right? So I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, well, what is your thing? Like, what do you what do you do for work? And also, do you like it? You know?
Hmm. Yeah. Of course.
And I don't know if this is the same across the board, but this guy once was like so offended. And he said, "Why do women always ask what you do for work?" Like right off the bat. And I was like, "Well, I'm just kind of wondering what you do all day." And he said, "Well, you're like trying to judge me on how much money I make."
Oh, God, here we go again.
Uh, so I don't know what sort of gold digger situation he was in or imagined he was in, but whoever that
Yeah.
person was, nobody can ask him what he does for work.
Wow. Hmm. I don't know. That's a whole other episode. I could go on and on and on about the whole gold digging or what women have, what we don't have, and what men. I'm sorry, but clearly another reason for me, I feel, is a lot of men are like little bitches nowadays. They want to be taken care of, they want to be provided for. That's just my experience.
Yeah.
Like what I've been coming across. It is so crazy. They want the women to work, clean, work out, look fabulous, look like a porn star, but not be like a porn star, but be sexual in the bedroom, make a lot of money, dress fabulous, right?
Yeah.
And yet they don't have to really bring much to the table.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually felt like really, really judged by men when I was dating because they would, a lot of men would have assumptions about what a hairdresser is. And so
Mm,
because I said I was a hair colorist, they thought, like, oh, you must work at, Supercuts and play with hair all day or
hmm.
something.
Oh yeah, they act like it's not a career. They think that we're playing. Oh, it's fun. You're just hanging out with girlfriends. And I'm like, no, this is my career.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not just hanging out with friends. Like this is a real thing. Oh yeah, I've been judged a lot too.
Or they think you might
Um,
be dumb.
oh, I've also gotten where a lot of people don't they're like, "Okay, so what else do you do for a living?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Oh, you have to be doing more than just doing hair to have that house, to have that car, to have dressed the way you dress all the time."
Oh, is
You
that
go,
why people think you're a hooker?
"Yes. Oh my God. Did I tell you about the guy at the gym that asked if I was a sex worker?"
Yes.
Uh-huh. This is real. Yes, he literally came up to me. And first of all, it's like not even my fault, right? Like, what the hell? I have friends that want to come and say hi to me, whatever. So, yeah, one day I'm just, and it's so messed up because yeah, he was a good looking guy, physically fit, nice smile, whatever. Comes out to me. He's like, hey, I don't want to offend you or anything. And I seen this guy for the last 3 years in passing. So, when you work out at the same time every day, you say hi. These are kind of like your gym buddies, whatever. I mean, this guy wasn't, but he, would see me there all the time. And he came up to me. He's like, I don't want to offend you. Please don't get offended, but I do have a question for you. I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you a sex worker? And I was like, what? And I just started laughing because I thought it was really funny because I was like, okay, if you're trying to ask me out right now, like you totally just like foot insert into your mouth. Like you just totally messed that one up. He's like, oh no. He's like, well, I just asked because, every time you walk into the gym, I see men lining up to say hi to you. First of all, men do not line up to say hi to me. I don't know where he got that from. And then made the comment of, oh, I see you drive a really nice car. And, and then he also proceeded to ask me, oh, or when I had said I was, single, he's like, oh, so you probably, got a big lump sum from your ex-husband, right?
Oh my
To be able to like
God.
afford your car. And I'm like, this guy is a fucking jag off. So clearly I never spoke to him again. But yeah, people really make assumptions. Like, yeah, literally. Yeah, he thought I was a hooker.
The bottom line of
Yeah.
that one is I think if you had said yes, he was
Hmm.
wanting to hire you.
Probably, right? Maybe
Hmm.
that, maybe, I don't know. I mean, dollar bills. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, but no, seriously, right? But like a lot of us do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well get paid for it. Damn. But then we're the gold diggers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's called a nonprofit organization.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my God.
Nonprofit. I love it.
Oh, that's
Oh.
classic. It's like that. There's this group on Facebook. Yes,
Uh-huh.
I'm Gen X, everybody, and it's like a oh, I'm sorry, it's like a hashtag like who remembers,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just see it because there's no spaces,
Mm-hmm.
like most of us look at it and we read horror members, who
What do you mean?
remembers
Oh,
without a
got it. Like,
space.
right.
So you're like, no, I see horror members.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And then
It's great.
you're the dumbass when you raise your hand. You're like horror members.
Mm. I love it. That's
Anyway,
awesome.
all right, this is our longest episode
I know.
to
But
date.
but again, this is to be continued. I'm telling you, we could continue talking about dates and just really funny stuff.
Yes,
We're
come
gonna have
back.
Yes, we're gonna have to come back and revisit this, and hopefully you guys will like reach out to us at Hear Me Out podcast and send us some messages or questions if you want to know, right? Or you want to tell us your story. Let's talk about it. I
Yes,
think
we
that would
want to
be really cool.
hear your bad dating stories.
Mm-hmm. Let's share some advice, like how it said. Remember, if he has a hat on in every picture, he's probably bald, which is not a bad thing. He's just insecure, right?
Yeah.
And bald, just so you know. So we got to give each other all these little tips too, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're helping each other out. That's all.
Yeah.
So, let us know. Yeah.
So email us at justhearmeoutpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And go visit us at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.